Good afternoon, this is Mike at Farming Smarter. We're here with our RBC Weston Soil Health Project, and behind me that green stuff you see is some fall rye and winter wheat that we planted last year. We planted in early September and late September, and we're looking at some different termination methods. So you can see we've got this really heavy residue crop behind us, and it was cultivated kind of mimicking the typical situation that could happen here on the prairies. And we've got this beautiful green cover coming across, and we're going to take a little peek at those plots, see how what survived this year compared to last year's previous winter oats, and then kind of show you where we're going from there. So this first plot here is a fall rye plot that we seeded early, so this would have been about the 8th of September. You can see we're tracking the temperatures, the soil temperatures there in the seed row over the winter to see if there's a difference between any of these crops, and compare it, the cropped portions to the no crop portions. So this will be something where there's been no cover for the entire winter, and then we're going to grow this all the way up to heading, and then come in with a roller crimper and terminate it and plant barley into these and get a silage barley crop for the year. So this will probably be our first thing ready, and I expect it kind of towards the end of May, maybe into early June we'll be doing that. This is the winter wheat. So in comparison, you see very fine leaves, very much thinner stand. This one here is the early date, and so it's had a little bit of winter kill. Tips are still a little bit yellow, but overall it survived not too badly. When we get into our later seeding date of the fall rye, you can see it's definitely not as big as the first seeding date. And even though we try, these things always kind of escape us. So that's why we double. That's why we put 2 of these in here. And it's got to be on one of those sides, but I think I'll just put them both there. And then lastly, we've got our late seeded winter wheat, and this is probably the thinnest, weakest stand that we have, but it will, I think, push through, and we should see a pretty good crop. And hopefully it terminates, so that there's kind of a balance here that we're trying to find, and that's, we want a really strong, robust green cover in the fall, but we also need it to be easy to kill, and we don't want it to be too good that we can't kill it and it causes too much problems and nutrient depletion and stuff in the spring. So we're really trying to find where is that balance point. Last year we found that we tried winter oats instead of the winter wheat, and we didn't get good survivability, and that's kind of a hit or miss thing. So winter wheat, I think we have a little better luck year to year getting good survivability. But the fall rye, we'll see if it's sometimes a little too vigorous, and it was really hard to kill for our in-crop or for our with the roller crimping last year. So hopefully the winter wheat's kind of a good compromise between the two. I guess we'll have to stay tuned and see what happens in a little bit. So it sounds like we're going to get a little snow here in the forecast still, and this will probably get covered up with a foot of snow here this week. We'll be back in probably a month or so to actually check up on these, maybe do some of our spring sampling, biomass and things like that, and then we'll kind of keep you posted on how things are going.